Hello, welcome to Inner Sanctum Studios. I'm Sharon Martin, and I am here with what I feel is quite exciting information about the divine masculine. And although it it, it applies to everyone, the impact on the divine masculine is quite significant, as in, whoa, off the charts, I want to say. Hi, Phoenix. Oh, fantastic. Hi, Carolyn. Yeah, so at time, um, glitchy. I haven't been here because there's just been um, other pressures on my time, and I needed to, on top of that, take some time for me. But yeah, it's all over the place energetically. We're in such expansion. We're in kind of confusion because of the level of expansion. We're in glitchy energy. We're in massive energy in here, in the higher heart, in our place of divine purpose, where our passion sometimes shows up, where our mission shows up. And this is having, yeah, it's interesting, I kind of want to sit in a bit of moment of stillness here, but it is that the masculine in our world is coming into their own, and they are doing it because their hearts are being cranked open. But on top of that is this higher heart activation and expansion, and it's coming through from both the front and the rear, and you will have been feeling it irrespective of whether you are in a feminine form or a masculine form, or feminine energy or masculine energy, in terms of your body. um, Hi, Preeti. Yeah, I can understand that feeling disconnected, at times don't know the way forward, because it is as though we are having to find our way, A, in a different way, and B, in a new form, new energy, new space. And I described to a client today, it's like we are standing in ankle deep fifth dimensional energies now, and it will build. So that would be one way of seeing it, is that we're paddling in fifth dimensional energies. You may be immersed in them completely. There will be a spectrum, but I want to say that everyone on the earth is paddling in fifth dimensional energies up to their ankles at the moment. And so that is creating a sense of discombobulation for everybody. But then on top of that, there's this really impactful energy that I want to say is causing deep inner contemplation around any of the ideas of, who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose, my mission, my divinity? Have I got this right? Who am I? Am I the same as I was? This kind of this merging and missing, and this balancing and counterbalancing the masculine, feminine energies within self and within the world. And then this sort of, I want to call it the sort of cataclysmic impact of some of the kickback, because we're so in the, well, we're in the we have turned, if you like. I feel that we are in our new space, and we're in um like the grand reveal. I could have called this video that, but today today it's been so interesting what's showing up, and so that's why I ended up writing that as the title. Oh, hello everyone else. Hello, Champion for the Cause and Sally. DM's life turned upside down today, and it seems to be bringing our paths together. That's what Carolyn is saying. And Golden, feeling low and triggered today. I've been speaking out to people who trigger me, mostly those who work for the council and the system. Good. That's really good because we're in this. Hi, Charlotte. Because there is so much. There is so much going on, but I want to say it's driven by a few fundamentals. Hi, James. Yes, it's lovely. It's lovely to have you here. I want to say it's driven by a few fundamentals, and one is the sense of clarity that's coming in, and that is because we are feeling into the truth. The truth is really illuminated, and it's hard to skip by it anymore. And it's not because we've been telling lies; it's because the covers have come off. We're in this recognition of our own truth, the things that we might have maybe stuck under the covers within ourselves, or all of the energies that hold that in constraint, if you like, within self and within humanity and on the planet. They're all lifting, um, so that it comes up and it can't be missed, it can't be ignored, it can't be put aside. But everything has changed. You know, that spin on a dime kind of feeling that we've been in. It, we keep having things to different levels, don't we? We have higher levels and deeper. We're going higher and deeper. We are becoming more ascended and more purified. And today it really felt to me as though there was a lot of access to tears. It was very easy today for people to be moved to tears because, yeah, the lids have come off, if you like. That's kind of what I want to say. You think about, I don't know, think about the manhole covers in Washington, D.C., and New York City, where we've seen, in London, where we've seen flooding, and the lids have come off, the manhole covers have been bouncing around from that. It's a bit like, that's the macro and the micro. So I want to say this grand reveal. So these were notes that I wrote. Um, hmm, on the 15th or the 16th. I also can tell you we are in a lot of earthquakes around the world as well. And so they are having a variety, or they have a variety of impacts. Sally slept 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. Oh, that's fantastic. Honestly, sleep, hydration, and grounding, they're your best friends at the moment. I believe that some people are going to come to a new level of awakening through their dream time. So if that is you, please do get pen and paper beside your bed. I want to advise you that it's useful before you come. If you have that there, then you can, while you're still in this, like not quite awake, you can just write down some keywords, and then that will help you to remember. So you can write down who you remember was in it and some key factors, like maybe where it was and maybe some things that happened, and that then you fill it out when you awaken. But it's pretty difficult to remember the details, and I that's been coming up. Well, where are we? You see, that's the other thing. Time is so glitchy. Okay, it's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. So over this last week, that's been coming up for a lot of people. This coming into a new level, if you like, of dreaming. Maybe more. What's that word? There's a special word. A type. A somebody else might remember it, but it's like it's vivid dreaming, it's wakeful dreaming, but it's a new level. I want to call it quantum dreaming. You might find that you're in this quantum dreaming, that you're dreaming up the new or dreaming up the old that relates to the new. Belinda is saying her DM made contact after months, then was gone again after 24 hours with an I can't do this. I'm just trying to focus on my own healing, but I do feel really discombobulated since this happened. Oh, big hugs to you, Belinda. Yeah, that would be very, very challenging. I do feel the masculine are going through the biggest, the most monumental, the most incredible explosion, really, on an internal level. Like their world is falling apart. Their emotional body will be giving them lots of signals. Oh, and you're having lots of vivid dreams with messages coming through. Fabulous. And Sally's getting lots of ideas for new businesses in her dream time. That's great. Yeah, so it feels to me it's almost like you could say that etheric is kind of landing. But there's big energies coming into the higher heart today as well, and that's a massive activation for purpose and mission. So I want to tell you that I wrote this on the 15th or the 16th as I was tuning into Gaia, and what came through was that word, the grand reveal. And then, are you in it? Are you a part of it, or are you viewing it? So it's not that any of that is bigger or better than the other, but just be aware that we may be having different viewpoints. So we might be sitting up here watching it, we might be sitting down here watching it, we might be over here in the mix of something new, we might be over here in the mix of something old, we might be merging the two. There's this meshing, if you like, that's going on in the fields. There's this revealing of stuff that we need to be shown to look at as well, in our recognition of, oh, do we want that? Do we choose that or not? And there's this letting go of the emotional aspects that are coming up. So I think I was sitting with a client earlier today, and I felt bubbles the size of something that would fit inside my hand like this. I could feel that coming up. So there's giant stuff coming up for some people. I want to say that likely each of us, this is what I wrote, each of us is experiencing all of these components. You see, I don't remember that I wrote this, sorry. Because it's a few days ago, and there's a lot that's happened in my own life and in the world. So likely each of us is experiencing all of these. This, are you in it, a part of it, or viewing it? Some components on some level or in regards to some topic or focus. So it may be a bit fragmented. It may be that it's just in your work that's happening. It may be that it's just in your family. As our history unfolds before us, because this is what we're really in now, in the physical. Now, many of you here are likely to have a great awareness of that, but what will be happening is the people around you who have a lesser awareness are going to be in the experience of seeing and noticing that. So as the elements of war create a focal point to choose peace. And this is, I want to say, this is my work, your work, our work, is to look at it and make our choice about what it is that we choose to be in the experience of, to be in the creation of. As the medical impacts on health are brought to the fore through the vaccine injuries and related deaths, as the money industry loops and hooks and rears its head above the parapet, the players involved that are key beneficiaries are seen. And they are seen to be the same small group of beings. There's not that many of them. As the fraud and corruption becomes visible, trust in institutions is decaying, and there's more coming home to self, to trust your own inner guidance. As the call for freedom from tyranny is crying out from the walls of within. As Western nations and wealthy people at last come into greater recognition of those who are in poverty, who are in starvation, and who are incarcerated, these deep feelings are arising to be expressed, and often and generally expressed from a place of victimhood, of frustration and anger. And so this is likely what we will or are already witnessing around us and in the news. And more human or shared human experience has come through from these past few years. So it felt to me these the 15th, 16th, it was like I felt like I was like writing this kind of summary review for us to remember how much we've been exposed to and how much we've been able to observe and see and share and be in the changing up of. So I want to say, in relation to the divine masculine, there's some sort of there's a few kind of components, but on the 17th, the image sometimes I feel like I'm so tuned in, I just have to ask a question and like raise my eyes to the sky and I get shown something. So I asked what's going on with the divine masculines on the 17th, and I got shown a submarine, and I've never been, I don't think, no, I've never been in a submarine, so I might have the names of the parts incorrect, but the submarine was in the middle of the ocean, and it was on the surface, and whatever that turret, parapet, I don't know, that where there's a hatch that sits above, that was open, that was above the water, and that was the divine masculine, the representation, the divine masculine who was representing the collective, was there surveying the ocean like in a 360-degree look. And that was what I got shown when I asked what's going on with the divine masculine collective. And then I sort of chuckled about it because I realized that it was quite a good movement, quite a good segue from how I'd seen them in stealth mode, how I'd seen them in their invisibility cloak. And then all of a sudden, I ask and I get shown this other visual metaphor about them being, in the submarine in the middle of the ocean, coming up to have a good look around. I have to tell you that on the 18th, I did nothing. I've never done this in my life, as far as I remember. I spent the entire day in bed. I felt like a teenager. And yeah, I think there was one, I think that might have been, if I knew what day it was, I think I might have got out of bed and had a decision that I had a runny nose and thought I better not go I think so. I think if it was that day. Anyway, doesn't matter. I ended up, I just spent the whole day in bed, and I even disgustingly took food back to bed, and I felt so good for it because I really just needed to be honouring of myself. So there's confessions of me. Oh yeah, I've put out a course. If you're in, well, it's not a course. I've put out a space, um, a description for something that you may feel drawn to be a part of. And I know the timing won't suit for everybody. So if it's something that does interest you, but the timing is hard, send me a message and I can have a look at that. Some people have already done that. But it's kind of an answer to a bit of a call that I've had from people to create something that gives support. So it will be a Zoom call. It'll be held for 90 minutes. We'll do it once a week for 10 weeks. Starts in the middle of January, and it's advertised. You can find it on the community page in YouTube, and I also popped it on Facebook. And it's the idea that we can hold an energetic space for one another and express what's going on and what we might need or wish to say or not. It might be that you don't. There's no compulsion for everybody to speak, but have a look at that and see if you feel drawn to that. Change. We are in such incredible change, and that is why it feels all over the place, because it is that there is so much change occurring on so many levels and so many components in the physical world and in our physical bodies. This transformation that we're all going through and that you have probably been going through for quite some time is going to continue. So just find your flow with it, find what works for you, be in ease with it, recognize how your body gives you messages and signals about what you need, and keep attuning to that. Your body will get better at giving you clarity, and you will get better at hearing, feeling, knowing, trusting what your body is requiring of you. This massive transformation is going to go on and at least into the end of January. And I want to say to you that patience and compassion are two key words to attune to, and it's for yourself and for others. I want to tell you that I was interested. I listened to Rick Jewers in the weekend, and so he confirmed something that you would have heard me speak of, and that is that there was divine intervention in twins coming together, and that there was divine intervention on a wide scale in terms of ascension. And so just be aware of that, we've spoken about how it's been stretched out and that things have been changed. And so that was interesting. And he said that twin relationships were put on hold. And so I found that really interesting. And then he followed it up with, I wrote it down, the divine plan. In the divine plan, things really do change, but it did change to extend the duration of ascension and all human souls that could make it, so they could be taken forward. So there's I just like that because it validated what I've been saying from Gaia. And then I wrote in here, and I want you to feel into this and say it to yourself, because I feel that this may help you. I feel isha kana kutua shia ta tatakana a shitia naranana or isha na akana shitia na iya toara kana shi. And take a breath. That wasn't what I was going to say, and I want you to repeat this. I am ease. All right, I'm inviting you to. I am peace. I am freedom. I am joy. I am love. I am unity. I am cooperation. I am clarity. I am truth. And then this from um, Gaia on the 19th. When I tuned in the afternoon, it was really interesting because she was swinging like she was on this pendulum and like a metronome. And she was looking outwards. And when I asked her what this was about, she said she was marking time and awaiting the perfect moment to leap off and move forward. So I thought that was an interesting metaphor. Biding time. This is what else came. Holding the status quo stable whilst the rest builds. So there's more evidence or more material around this idea that we have been put on a bit of a hold in this bid to do maybe more cleaning up that's happening and maybe more kind of um, pulling, inviting, allowing others to come into their own heart space. But today the energies are really rocking that along. And then what came on the 19th was that poem that I'll read, that you may have read. Light flooding in from the heavens, the stars, the sun, and the galaxy. Purification deeper than ever before possible. So we're brought into this whole new place and space where we can access deeper. And that is what's showing up today in the emotional body. So purification deeper than ever before possible. Codes and gifts, talents and upgrades, illuminating your cells and systems, DNA alighting, reconnecting and smoothing. You, love, loving, loved. Emit your light after filling yourself. As intensity increases, be grounded, hydrated, go inner, connect to self, ask for guidance. Divine masculines in preparation, in the physical, undoing their old lives, arising to their own divinity, to reclaim their majesty and then their counterpart. We are close to ascension. Sorry, we are close to ascension as individual, humanity, and planet. Some will happen in cycles, and not all will happen in the same moment. I've got 2 books here now. I'm just in the last part of this. Okay, so today, well, today I wrote, you can make of this what you want. The sexual energies are off the charts. It's take myself to my own room energies. And huge passion coming in along with these huge sexual energies. I was being shown something like this imagery of a fine mist with this residue settling in the bottom of the tank, and it's as though if you just think about a flask that's glass, for example, it's like this fine mist was coming in, and then it looked clear, and yet it wasn't. So I watched it, and as it came in, there was this residue forming on the bottom. And how I read that was this residue settling in the bottom of the tank, enabling greater purity and clarity. And so this is another aspect of where we're at the moment. Enabled and supported through this period of time related to the truth showing up from within and without. I want to say to you that now is a very powerful time for you to create affirmations of what it is that you want, wish, desire. It's really important that that's your focus, that it's not the what you don't want. The divine masculine. Oh, see, I feel quite emotional as I didn't even remember writing this, and I wrote this today. This is from Gaia. Everything is hurtling in for them. This undeniable truth and clarity and knowing of who their divine feminine is. It also carries a sense of impatience, reaction. They're really in this place of, I've just got to do this. I've just got to get there. I've just got to say this. And they are definitely feeling all that the divine feminines are, and this kind of vision of them just turning up that's been very strong today. Gaia is saying that everybody is being brought to their next position now, and this could show up as push, pull, epiphanies, knowings, and synchronicities. But this period of time is going to have a significant impact on the movement of the divine masculine in our world. Gaia says they will be compelled to take action, that their time for procrastination is over, that fear will be overridden, that action will be the raison d'etre to the divine feminine. So I forgive my French pronunciation. But I looked that up because I know that when I'm given specific things, there's always a nuance that I don't know. So I didn't know all of this. The raison d'etre is the most important reason or purpose for someone or something's existence. So yeah, that is from Gaia. Action will be that. Action will be this, the raison d'etre, the most important reason or purpose for their action. It's go time. And so divine feminines, be mindful that your thoughts, words, and actions regarding your divine masculine reflect the reality that you desire. And then there's this higher heart stuff. I'll just see what else is in here. Oh, Belinda's saying right before the live, she was reading a book that said the same. Write your list of true desires. Exactly what's happening with my DM today is what Carolyn is saying. Yeah, so it was like I could see. So I don't know what your experience is, but my experience is like I I get to the end of the day and I honestly feel as though I have had 3 days experience in one day. I've got no clue what day it is by the end of the day. And then I'm having to check in with myself. Well, what have I eaten and when did I eat it? And am I hungry? And what have I done today? And I honestly, seriously feel like I'm out of being a doer. I'm out of being a doer, but I have been feeling as though I am having 3 days experience in one. Carolyn's saying her DM has just gotten home. He was supposed to be away for another 2 days. Oh, interesting. So time glitchy. And I think that we will have, experiences where a few minutes goes by and we'll feel like that and a day goes by and then this expanded. But for me, I'm having a lot of this expansion at the moment. But this today here it was like a fire hose, kind of. If you think about that, was that intensity streaming in here to the higher heart and in the back. I was told it was also coming in the back. I was feeling it in the front. Um, Activations. White energy streaming into higher hearts today, front and rear, activating codes related to purpose and mission. So these energies that are coming in now, they're activation energies. So it's like we might be getting more codes as well. But the real purpose of what's coming in today into the higher heart is activation. So it's activating what sits within your body, activated through this component, this higher heart, this chakra that sits between the heart and the throat. You may, activating codes related to purpose and mission. You may find yourself having greater awareness, opening, and aligning, coming with truth, coming with clarity and direction. And there's this real sense of the divine masculine being in this place, this right, still got some more there. This idea that for the divine masculine, there's information, there are things happening in their physical, tangible world that are really either pushing, pulling, compelling them to take action. And so it might be that all of a sudden they are finding that they want to do things differently, or they are finding that things are happening sort of to them or around them that are shifting their circumstances. So it might be that all of a sudden they are invited to have some kind of job transfer that takes them somewhere, or all of a sudden they're feeling like, well, this job doesn't work for me anymore. It's strong. It's very compelling. It's very, I think God was saying to me, it's like this. It could be propelling, compelling, pushing, pulling, but there's a lot of shifting going on, especially for the divine masculine. And so it's going to be things like all of their desires around this accumulation of material possessions, around money, that could fall away, and all of a sudden they might be in that place of, I thought that was important, and it doesn't feel quite so much important anymore. So that going on, and then other things, but it's very big. So that might be why divine masculines could go into overwhelm, because it's a bit of an energy. I was going to say shit show, and that's not really my languaging, but let's say that because it's kind of like it. Yeah, so a lot, things being pulled away, things being put in front of them. There's sense of separations going on between partnerships. There's this new nudging to be somewhere else or with someone else, and that's happening on lots of levels. In the showing up in the physical, um, and then there's this desire to speak. It's like, hello, um, move it, baby. You need to move, you need to speak it, you need to show up there, you need to get it off your chest, you need to speak it out of your throat. It's like, it's really yeah, it's I don't know. I can't even find the words. It's very strong. The divine masculine are very strongly being compelled to move, to speak, to experience, to share, and like maybe with nervousness, but they are going to do it anyway. It's that kind of thing. It's an absolute. I've been using that can't not. It's just such the strength of the can't not. They cannot not. They cannot resist it. They cannot push it away any longer. The compulsion, the propulsion, the push, the pull, the opening, the expansion is so massive. And then on top of that, there's all of this becoming aware of their becoming awakened to their consciousness level at a whole new level of the game. So do not be surprised if they turn up at your door. Do not be surprised if you get an out of the blue phone call. It's going to be, yeah, this, it's how it shows up to me. That's how it shows up to me. There's this, I've got to do it. I've just got to do it. I've just got to speak it. And it kind of comes without, almost without too much concern around consequences, but it's like you get up there and you just say it. You get over there and you just say it. You get there and you say it. You speak it out, and it's like the anxiety, the nervousness that is sitting there, because it is over run by this need to speak it. Yeah, this real sense of them needing to speak to their feelings because, yeah, it's go time. It is. Um, yeah, so this, for everybody, this huge sense of coming home to self, to this greater level, to this deeper level, this recognition also of deep emotional trapped energy being released because we're going into that deeper purification and it's being released through tears. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you're more easily moved to tears. Don't be surprised if people around you are. That's certainly been my experience. I've been feeling lots of people coming in and they're crying. You know, it's this beautiful release. We're just, because there's so much that's come off. There's like all the, it's like the lids are off. And so more can come up. And this energy is deep and it's provocative. And so it's allowing us to release. So you may have been having a lot of time in the glitches, time, date, day, certainly me, as this, it shows up, I wrote this, as the sense of weaving in and out of grids and timelines is being smoothed. And I want to say, we'll each be having our own experience of that, but that's how it showed up. It's like, we're all doing this as we're trying to, I suppose that's an okay word to use, to find our way, trying to find our way in this newness. So we might be in here, in our lane, in our zone, on our wave, if you like. But we can see and feel and notice all of the discombobulation around us. And so that's having impacts on us. And a lot of people are like, what the heck is going on in my body, in my world? People are shifting and moving and things are collapsing, and a lot of things that people have sort of held on to, like their anchors, they don't sit there any longer. There's huge change. And so I want to say that whatever any of you are feeling, that other people are feeling, that times 100. So the biggest thing is be grounded, be hydrated, and be in compassion. So be in compassion with yourself, and 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 I want to tell you that that's what I did by spending the day in bed. And so you don't have to do that, but I invite you to. I felt so I felt so much benefit from that. Um, and so that was my gift to myself. I was really compassionate to myself, and felt I just needed to allow myself to be with myself to top up my energy. And yeah, I really felt the benefits of that. Hello, Holger. One day soon there will be the brightest high noon. Let go to allow, and your excitement will flow. Just be as you. Yes. So this is our. Oh, I want to say this is like our, what's that word? We don't usually, we don't have it here. Um, think it's an American term that I'm trying to find. It's like a coming out um, ball or an initiation function, or it's something that people do as they're becoming adults. It's like we're in that. We're preparing for our initiation to come into being these multi-dimensional, intergalactic beings here on Earth, holding space for the ascension of the planet and of humanity from our beautiful, loving, compassionate hearts. All right, much love to you. Big hugs. Go and check out the cool thing that I'm starting if that interests you. And yeah, much love.